We now have a proclamation from the Native American and Alaskan Native Heritage Month proclamation. So would we have Dora Perry, interim Chief Equity Officer, and staff come on up?
Good evening, Chair Riley and Commissioners. For the record, my name again is Dora Perry, and I am the interim Diversity and Equity Officer for the county. I am pleased to offer a few introductory remarks on our cultural heritage celebrations because before I turn it over to Ms. Jenny Bailey Sanchez and Ms. Daria Bingham Martin. Washington County cultural heritage celebrations and resources are an important starting point of our collective organizational engagement and learning about equity, diversity, and inclusion. These cultural celebrations offer an opportunity to establish and maintain relationships with staff and community who identify as Native Americans, Indigenous, or both, to build trust and deepen our understanding of these diverse and growing communities in Washington County. These cultural celebrations also create an opportunity to learn about the historic colonialism and present operation of Native Americans and Indigenous community and the community's resilience in the face of that operation, so that we can reflect on whether or not current policies and sentiments support the well-being of the Native American and Indigenous community and dismantle racism and white supremacy. No culture is monolithic. All cultures, ethnicities, and nationalities encompass a range of diverse life experiences and opinions. The U.S. government officially recognizes 574 Indian tribes in the contiguous 48 states and Alaska. 169 North American Native languages are also included in that. Our celebration and resource page for Native American and Indigenous Heritage Month celebration will offer a subset of these cultures and sovereign nations. Each of our Heritage Month committees are thoughtful about the learning opportunities that they share with our Washington County community. We encourage people who may be curious about what is or is not presented or the policy implications of what is shared this month to reach out to us at the Office of Equity and Inclusion and Community Engagement, OEICE, or open a dialogue with colleagues and or the planning committees. I want to thank all the members of the committee who met over the past few weeks under the leadership of Committee Chair Christina Barboza. I think, with that, I'd like to turn it over to Jenny Bailey Sanchez and Daria Bingham Martin. Jenny, do you want to start?
Sure, hi, I'm Jenny Sanchez. I'm a member of the Confederate Tribes of Grand Ronde. Oh. I'm a member of the Confederate Tribes of Grand Ronde.
Dakotay. My name is Daria Martin Bigham. I'm a tribal enrolled member of the Yavapai Apache Nation in Camp Verde, Arizona on my mom's side, and on my dad's side, I'm Talawa Dene from Smith River, California.
Whereas Washington County honors the culture, traditions, and accomplishments of Native Americans that have shaped our country, while also acknowledging our nation's history of colonialism that has inflicted discrimination, deprivation, violence, genocide upon indigenous peoples, and
whereas the area currently known as Washington County, Oregon, rests on the land that was first inhabited by the Atfaladi Kalapuyans, also called the Tualatin people, who flourished here for thousands of years, and
whereas with the arrival of white settlers in the 1830s, conflicts over their tribal lands and the eventual theft of their homeland, along with forced removal to the Grand Ronde Indian Reservation in 1856, the Atfaladi people faced the destruction of their culture, lifeways, and their very existence, and
whereas from 1880 through 1885, one of the first off-reservation Indian boarding schools in the nation was located in Forest Grove, where many Native children were sent to assimilate to white culture, causing them to become disconnected from their families, community, Native culture, and language. The tragic consequences of this disconnection still persist to this day through generational trauma and hardship, and
whereas Grand Ronde Indian Reservation was terminated by the United States Congress in 1954, causing the displacement and disfranchisements of the thousands of Native people of Oregon, including the Atfaladi Kalapuyans, who were then forced to leave the former reservation, causing further loss of Native languages and culture, and
whereas the Confederated Tribes of the Grand Ronde Community of Oregon was reestablished as a recognized Native nation on November 22, 1983, with the Atfaladi people as members, which began the healing process of restoring the tribe, community, and cultures of the tribal nation, and
whereas the Atfaladi people endured to this day as members of the Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde Community of Oregon, and after overcoming numerous setbacks over the years in the struggles to regain treaty-acquired land and federal recognition as a sovereign nation, the Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde Community have established a successful government serving the needs to their members and also generously supporting the advancement of underserved community throughout Northwest Oregon, and
whereas we recognize and celebrate the fact that tribal culture is rich and thriving, successfully connecting the past with future generations through Lifeways education, increasing knowledge, and use of Native language, and renewed connections to ancestral homelands, and
whereas we acknowledge the local government support for sovereign tribal rights to land, water, and subsistence living are vital to repairing the harm caused by colonization, racism, and government failure, and
whereas we seek to repair the trauma of past oppression and broken trust, both locally and regionally, by lifting up Indigenous cultures and voices and striving together to build a future of shared hope and promise for all. We pledge to center the rights and interest of Indigenous peoples in decision-making and welcome open dialogue and courageous conversations to advance this work.
Now therefore be it resolved that on this first day of November 2023, the Board of County Commissioners do hereby proclaim November 2023 as Native American Heritage Month, a time to celebrate the rich and diverse culture of Indigenous people, to raise awareness about our shared history and the continuing work of decolonization, and acknowledge the important ongoing contributions of Native Americans make in our community and across our nation.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, thank you very much, Dora, and for bringing your team with you. Phenomenally indigenous. I can never pronounce that word. Indigenous. And also the other shirt, too. So good job on that. Thanks for being here. And commissioners, do you have any comments?
I just want to say thank you for the work that you've done, and thank you for bringing this forward. It's really important, and I appreciate the work that went into this. So I'm looking forward to celebrating in November.
Yeah, likewise, I join with Commissioner Trees. Thank you for doing this work, and thank you for bringing this proclamation. I stand with you in solidarity, and I join you in celebration of this month, next month, as an Indigenous month. And good job, Christina.
I move to accept the proclamation.
And I second that.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by raising your hand. All right. Thank you very much. Motion passes. Thank you very much for being here.